Good morning, everybody. Well, it's another day. Snowy, cold, windy day. If you're listening real careful, you can hear the wind blow outside. I was wanting to tell you I did this video yesterday, so somehow it disappeared. So I'm doing it all over again today. That's why they didn't have a video to watch yesterday, for those of you who are faithful at watching my videos. I don't have a whole lot of faithful video watchers, so spread my videos around so people who would like to watch and learn can be able to build my channel up with me. I need more people. Anyway, today I'm going to talk about my garden and the things I want in the garden. And I have this nice book here that I've been following. It's called Crockett's Victory Garden, and that's Mr. Crockett right there. And I'm also getting information from other channels on YouTube, and I'm following some of their ways that they do things. And the ones I like that I'm really following a lot on is Kevin and Sarah on Living Traditions. If you want to follow them and you come and see them, you can tell them Marcia from Kansas Misfit sent you, and check out theirs. They have a lot of good information on their gardening, and they expand their garden every year to make it bigger. They have 2 daughters, and one of them was in a real bad car wreck a while back. They have a video on that too, so go check their channel out and tell them Marcia sent you from Kansas Misfit. And another channel that I really enjoy watching is what's her name? Sorry, I had a brain fart. I'll think of it. I can't believe I can't remember their name. Oh, the Stivers. And they have 2 beautiful children too, a little boy and girl. And they're trying to have another baby. And they just moved. I don't know how far they moved from, but they just moved, and they're starting a brand new garden in a new home. And check out their channel. Tell them Marcia sent you from Kansas Misfit. That's the Stivers. Really good people. And they're both 31. They're really young, and they're making a good... They're really smart, too. They're making a good living, and they're doing a wonderful job. Don't forget, check them out. Subscribe and tell them Marcia sent you. Some of the things I want in my garden and I can't really plant this year is, for one thing, is strawberries. It says to plant strawberries in December. Put them in a 3-inch pot and then transplant them in February. Well, here it is, almost February, so maybe next year. But that's okay. Strawberries takes 2 years before you can eat them anyhow, so why not wait another year? And that way I get some of the garden established and know where the best place is to plant the strawberries. So, another item that I'm going to plant, another plant is broccoli, and then I have cauliflower, cabbage, and Brussels sprouts that were really good garden plants for the cold weather. So, in February, I'll be planting them, and in March. Thank you, David. My husband interfered with my video with his phone. So, and he knew I was in the video, but that's okay.
I just want to do that.
He should have left the room. But anyway, where am I at? I was talking about the broccoli, the cauliflower, and the cabbage, and the Brussels sprouts, and it says to plant that in March, and then transplant them after the frost. After the frost? I guess after the frost. When they're 1 inch tall, you put them in 6-packs, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to leave them in the 4-pack and then transplant them into the garden later. With my broccoli, you want to plant them 18 inches apart, and the cabbage and the cauliflower as well, so they have room for their leaves to expand. And in between each plant, you can plant your lettuce or different kinds of lettuces. So that way, the lettuce would be used by the time the broccoli and the cauliflower and the cabbage and the Brussels sprouts need that extra space. So you're not wasting space in your bed. I like that idea. And then if I do leeks, I start a batch in February in the greenhouse, which I don't have a greenhouse yet, but I can start a batch. And then a batch in March indoors, and then you move them out in April after the frost is done. That way they have a head start in the ground and they're getting their growth. And this guy here that I told you in the book, I forgot his name, Crockett. Is that right? Yeah, Crockett. This guy here, he had his leeks look like a baseball bat. That's how big they were. It's like, wow. And then my onion sets or plants in green, and I start them in February and transplant them in April in the garden. I don't have very many bulbs. I want to go find a place to buy some bulbs because I want a lot of onions, and I'll be putting onions in each one of my beds because onions help deter the insects. If you look in the background of this video, you can see my cat. She's so cute sitting on the back of the other chair where my husband's sitting. Let's see. Just wanted to share my kitty cat on the video. But then I have a package of onion seeds that I'm going to plant, and they're so little you have to be real careful because you want them like at least an inch apart. So I plant them in there about an inch apart, and then as they grow up, then when they're big enough to go out in the garden, you can stick them in the garden. Peas, it says to start peas in March and then again in November if you want a fall crop. And you put them in a 4-inch deep and 6-inch wide trench, and then fill it real thick with your pea seeds, because he says if they're thick, then they will give more produce. And who wants a sparse one? I want a full one, so I'm going to get peas and just put them in there thick. And then he says for the trellis to put little branches that fall off the tree, poke it down in the middle of the trench for the peas to grow up on as they get taller, and keep the soil loose around the plants. Radishes, it says plant radishes in 5-foot intervals, so you don't want big pots, you just want big plots, just 5-foot sections, because they don't take much room to grow. And I learned also when reading to plant radishes with my, see if I can find it here, plant radishes with the carrots. By the time the radishes are done, the carrots will just be coming up out of the ground. If you got 2 plants in one spot, not wasting any space, getting your radishes done, and then your carrots are just coming up, and you keep keeping the weeds out of them, and you've got your carrots as well as your radishes. I think that's an awesome idea. I'm learning a lot from this book. And spinach, you need to plant them like 12 inches apart, because as they mature, the leaves will get big. And if you want spinach all summer long, since spinach don't grow in the heat, they have a spinach called New Zealand spinach, and it's for summer growth. So that's all I have for you today for my garden for March. Even though it's not March yet, but that's what the book said. I read March, and April is a gigantic chapter, so I might have to split it up in 2 different videos, but we'll talk about that later. And as I plant these, I'll let you follow along with me on my journey in the garden, and you can see all my mistakes as well as all my joys. And smash this like button. Go ahead, go to the Stivers and to Living Traditions, and tell them I sent you, Marcia from Kansas Misfit, and learn some more about gardening. It's very important that you plant your own food nowadays. So try to plant your food and grow your own food, because you know what you're doing to your food. You don't know what's going on with the food you get at the store, and you don't know how long the food's going to be at the store. So watch your food and grow everything you're going to eat the best you can. I challenge you. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ta.